Hi guys, so for today's video, I am going to show you 3 simple looks that you can pair with your red lip. There's also a part of this video where I show you how I apply a red lip, so if you want to see all the 3 looks, then please keep on watching. Hi, so before we go to the tutorials on how to do those simple looks that you can partner with a red lip, I think I have to show you first on how I apply a red lip. So for context, my lips are two-toned, right? And also they're very dry. It's also eczema prone. So if you have the same lips as mine, maybe my prep or my preparation can help you. So the first thing is that I moisturize my lips with this Vaseline petroleum jelly. So I have this with me and I use this every day. When I go out, I use the one from La Roche-Posay, their Cicaplast lip balm. And then after moisturizing the lips and after doing the base, I will contour my lips. So the products that we're going to use is this one from Caroline. This is their Canva Pot product, and it's in the shade Engraved. And then find a brush that's small enough for you to contour your lips. I'm going to use this 223 Petite Eye Blender from Zoeva. So I already used this a while ago for my nose contour. So that's how it looks like. And then I'm going to shape my lips in the way that I want. So I just do this. I load up the brush with the product very nicely. And then I tap the excess here, right? Because it's easier to add than to remove, especially with makeup. And then I start off here, right here. You see that? So when you contour your lips with a contour product instead of a lip liner, a brown lip liner, I also do that. But when you do this, it looks more natural, at least in my opinion. So I'm just moving my mirror that way. And then, so I applied it here, right, on the highest points of my upper lip. And then I do this, like that. Apply, and then I just shade it this way. And then if I'm happy with the contour of the upper lip, right, once I'm happy with that, I do the lower lip. And then for the lower lip, I just put it here. So I try to make my upper lip a little bit bigger because I just want it to have the same size as my lower lip. So there. So I applied first here in the middle, and I just drag the product to the side, just like that. So if you're having a hard time applying it this way, you can do this, so it's easier to apply. So there we go. So that's how I contour my lips. And then I am going to apply the red lipstick. So for the red lipstick, we are going to use something a little more moisturizing. This is the Shut Up and Kiss Me Moisturizing Matte Lippie in the shade Obsessed from Happy Skin. So it looks like that. You can choose whatever red lip that suits you. I think this suits me quite well. For context or for your information, I do have a neutral warm undertone. And then I think it's really important to use a lip brush when you use a red lip, because it tends to be very messy when you don't use a lip brush. So I'm trying to find the lip brush. Here we go. So this is the number 21 lip brush from Strokes. So the way that this is shaped is angled. I like this a lot. So let's try to put the red lipstick now. Let me just move my mic. Okay. So what I do is that I take the product, right? Which isn't it focused. And then I just do this. I do have a red lip liner, but I can just use that a little bit later. Sometimes I don't use it when I do this. So you just draw you line your lips using the lip brush. Just like that. Okay, and then let me do the bottom part. Like that. And then I take the actual product and then and I fill in my lips. Let me just put my mirror here. You don't need to be really quick about it. If you are going to use a red lip, I think you should take your time. All right. Okay, so we're done with the red lip. I do like this Happy Skin product. This is my first time using a Happy Skin matte lippie. Their Shut Up and Kiss Me line. So I really like it, and the color is also very flattering. Okay, so for the first look, it's gonna be really simple. We are just going to add lashes. That's it. I think having nice lashes, groomed brows, and a red lip is very, very chic. And also if you pair it with like really nice gold earrings or accessories, I think it looks chic. So let's do that. So let me just curl my lashes. So I'm going to use a little bit of mascara, and I'm going to use this from Clio Kill Lash Super Proof Mascara Volume Curling. They also have different variants of this, and they're all very good, depending on your preference. So we are going to apply cluster lashes, but I also would like to have some mascara there. So let me just do that. And then I applied first here. That's how it looks like. So let's put on the cluster lashes. I'm going to use this from Faboulash. This is the Mark Kua collaboration. And then okay, that looks good. And then let's add another one. I think I'm happy with that. So if you want to add more for your lashes, please go ahead. To me, this is fine. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye. Okay, so after doing that, I'm going to take a liquid eyeliner, a black one. I'm just gonna cover the lash line. this. All right, and then after that, we are gonna take the same mascara, and then we are going to add this on our bottom lashes. If you don't want mascara on your bottom lashes, that's fine. To me, it probably will look better this way. Okay, so this is the first look. So lashes and a red lip. You can add a black eyeliner or a brown one if you like that, but I feel like, again, this is the simplest one, so it looks really chic to me. Okay, so for the next simple look, I am going to add like sparkles here because I just really want this to be easy and simple, and then a red blush. So some people think that putting on a red blush and then pairing it up with a red lip is not really that nice, but as you know, red blush is actually natural on our faces because if you look into the undertone of our faces, usually it's a bit warmer here like yellow, and then this one is red, and then this one is cooler like blue or green. Okay, so the product that I'm going to use for the blush is from Strokes. This is the Crush Blush in the shade Hottie. This one. I really like this. So I'm going to take a brush. Maybe not that dense. What is this? Okay, so I'm going to take this JE01 brush from the Jelly Eugenio collection, Vice Jelly Eugenio collection, the first one. Then I'm just gonna do this. And then once the product is loaded up on the brush, just like this, I'm going to put the excess here on the back of my hand. So for this one, I'm going to focus this on this part. Okay, and to blend that, I'm going to use the foundation brush that I used earlier. Okay, so now that the blush is done, I am going to add a little bit of brightness on this part. So I'm going to take this Issey Active Color Corrector in PM3, and then I'm going to mix that with the Issey Concealer in YF1. And then I'm going to take this JE03 brush from the first Vice Jelly collection, and I'm just going to mix the two products. And I'm going to apply it on the parts that I want to brighten. And then I'm going to take a highlighter. My favorite one is from the Balm Mary Luminizer. And then I'm just going to take a brush. And then I'm going to put it in the inner corner of my eye. Just like that. And then I'm going to add a powder blush. This is from Strokes. This is their Blush Pop palette. And then I'm going to dust this brush JE's 10 from the second Vice Jelly collection. I'm gonna take this one. I'm just gonna just a little, just to set that blush. I'm gonna take a highlighter, the same highlighter, and then I'm gonna take a highlighter face brush. This is from e.l.f. Just gonna do that. Just gonna do this. Okay, so just use a setting spray and this is done. So this is the final look. So for the third and final look, we are going to use a bronzer and a shimmery eyeshadow. So for the bronzer, again, this is from the Balm, the Bahama Mama. And then for the shimmery eye, we are going to use this from Ready Set Glow. This is their holographic Havoc eyeshadow palette. This is my first time using it, and I swatched it the first time I got it, and it looks so good. It looks so good. Okay, so let me just fix my camera. Okay, so I'm gonna take the bronzer and I'm going to take this crease brush from Zoeva. This is the number 221, and just gonna do that there. And I'm just gonna sweep this all over my eye. Okay, so I just applied the bronzer on my eyelids, and I think I should make it a little bit smoky so that it's a little bit more interesting. I think this will look great for a night look if you have a red lip. And for this one, you can opt not to use a bronzer. You can just use a brown shadow that you're into. But then I think when you use the same bronzer that you use on your face and then you put it on your eye, as eyeshadow, it makes the look a little bit more seamless. So let me just do that. Then I'm going to smoke out the lower lash line, and I'm gonna do that by taking this 231 Luxe Petite Crease Brush from Zoeva. And then I'm going to use the same product, the bronzer. I'm just gonna apply it first here on the outer third. I have hooded eyes, so I have to take up the eyeshadow above my crease right here. I don't know if the color translates really well on the camera, but this is the Quake shadow or shade. So I'm just gonna take my ring finger, just gonna do that. Let me just swatch it on. Ooh, that looks so good. Look. That looks so good. Can you see it? God, that looks so good. Okay, so I'm gonna apply it here. Let's see. Ooh, that looks so good. Yeah. I think I want to make this part a little bit darker. So let's use that under eye crease brush again. I'm going to take this Strokes Chiseled Contour Palette. This one here, Spanish Latte. And this pudding and mix them. Ooh, okay. I feel like I'm happy with that. And then let's take the bronzer again. And then I'm gonna take this cream cheek blush from Zoeva 128. I think I need to connect the two. I'm just gonna hydrate my face. Just add a little bit of bronzer there. And then let's brighten up this part a little and powder it because it's too shiny. So I'm gonna take this setting brush from Real Techniques, and then from the Pretty Sexy palette from the First by Australia collection, I'm gonna take this one. It's like a yellow banana powder. Yay! So that's the look. So again, it's pretty simple, but then I think it adds a little bit more oomph than the first one, or the first two. So that's it for this video. I hope you found it useful and helpful, and I hope you take inspiration from this to make your holiday looks for this year. I hope you have a great last month of the year, and Merry Christmas, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye!